So what is going on, everybody? It's King Karan with another Flare content for you guys. And boy, oh boy, our data king, Hugo Filion, was on Paul Barron's podcast. And he said some numbers that we are always calculating with, like how much XRP, you turn it into FXRP, supply shock, what is going on, right? We all did that in the previous videos. But now in his podcast, in Paul Barron's podcast, he said some numbers. So we can finally get the whiteboard again and do the calculations on based off from what he expects. So let's just play the video over here for you guys so you guys can listen.
Hugo, with the DeFi ecosystem within XRP now starting to expand, how much do you think is going to be unlocked just this year and the last few months of this year?
I mean, I'd like to see Flare at 5 billion XRP by mid 2026. Don't know
Okay.
about the last period of this year. Market's a bit volatile, but I'd like to see Flare at 5 billion XRP.
So Hugo Filion expects, or he would like to see, I mean, these are certain things that you have to say as a company. You cannot just say much more than that, which I do understand. But he likes to see a 5 billion XRP amount into FXRP. 5 billion. And he also mentioned mid 2026. And we're going to do that calculation because even 5 billion, what he said, 5 billion, not 5 billion worth of XRP. It's 5 billion XRP. So now it can change up because XRP's price is fluctuating. And by that time, XRP's price is way different. It's way different. All right. Things in the market are going to be way different. So that 5 billion XRP is not going to be the same as of today. It's different. So let me grab the whiteboard and let's do some calculations. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get down to business. $5 billion XRP is what Hugo would love to see. Well, as we all know, in order to mint an FXRP, there has to be collateral. Will be stables as collateral and FLR. So obviously, when you're going to turn your XRPs into FXRP, there has to be collateral. So you have the vault collateral and the pool collateral. The vault collateral can be stables and can also be FLR and also other assets that you can choose, but I think most of the people will definitely use stables. Why? Because it's less volatile, but there will be a percentage out there who will still use FLR for the vault collateral. Pool collateral has to be 100% FLR. You cannot go around this. It just has to be 100% FLR. So with all of this all together, you have obviously people going to use stables for the vault. There has to be a percentage also that obviously will also use FLR for the vault collateral. Then you have 100% FLR for the pool collateral. I would say from 1.8 times to 2 times collateral for FLR. Just around that, just to make it simple, let's just say 2 times. So once we know that, that you obviously need 2 times collateral for FLR for an F asset, especially FXRP, we can go to the 5 billion, what Hugo said. He's not talking about $5 billion worth of XRP. He is talking about 5 billion XRP, as in 5 billion tokens. This changes the whole game. Because as of right now, XRP is at $3 times 5 billion times 2 FLR's collateral is a 30 billion worth of FLR that needs to be in collateral. That is absolutely crazy, guys. 30 billion needs to be in collateral. Needs to be locked up for this 5 billion. Do you guys realize the supply shock that is coming for FLR? Absolutely crazy. And folks, what did Hugo say? Mid 2026. This is today's price. And I don't think that we're still going to be at $3 per XRP, guys. Let's do some speculation over here. Let's just say $10 per XRP times 5 billion tokens times 2 collateral is how much? 50 billion times 2, obviously 100 billion FLR that needs to be locked up. That is nuts. That is crazy. And let's just be conservative here, because obviously you have people saying, oh no, we don't know what's going to happen. $5 then. Are you happy with $5? Let's see. That is going to be a 50 billion FLR that needs to be locked up. What is this lock? This is some weird lock over here. Let me redraw this. 50 billion FLR that will be locked up. Let's make it 3D. There we go. Boom. 50 billion FLR, ladies and gentlemen. When XRP goes to $5, and this is what Hugo said, he would like to see a 5 billion XRP locked up on the FLR network into FXRP times 2 of obviously FLR's collateral. That is going to be 50 billion FLR that needs to be locked up, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what this means? Well, supply shock is right in front of you. I really hope that you guys realize that even with 5 billion XRP, not 5 billion worthy of XRP, but 5 billion XRP, FLR will have a supply shock. FLR cannot operate with the price of right now and have that 5 billion XRP turned into FXRP. The price needs to change. The price, because of the demand, needs to go up. It's such a simple thing. When you need a lot of demand for a coin, because that coin will be used as collateral, the price going up. Like, it's just that simple, right? So And it's not just because of that, it's also because of the all season. We have so many catalysts, ladies and gentlemen. It's about to get crazy, right? All season, guys, prepare yourself. Because yes, we have obviously F assets, but you're going to have Ethereum going even higher and higher, making new all-time highs all over again. And you know what that happens? You know what happens after that? All season, you're going to see altcoins rallying like never before. Last bull run we had it. The bull run before we also had that. It's going to be nuts. And people think all season is a myth right now. It's just, it won't happen. But we all know what happens if people don't expect it. If people say no, it's that, it will never happen, eventually crypto shows them the opposite. Always. So all season, ladies and gentlemen, is obviously coming. And for Flare, with F assets, with all of these five narratives, AI, gaming, real world asset, DeFi, layer one, Flare's price is about to go crazy, guys. Flare has a lot of narratives, that's one. F assets coming, that's two. All season, that's three. Flare has the perfect lineup for an ultimate bull run for Flare. It's about to get nuts, and people are still not even, they're just looking at the price right now and they're still getting depressed. You should be thankful that you still have time to accumulate at 2.5 cents. Because in the next couple of months, they're going to call you lucky because you bought at 2.5. They literally are going to think that you bought it by accident. You bought it because, yeah, I don't know, you fell over on your laptop and you clicked on buy. Like, that's what these people want to believe because they cannot believe that you bought it at 2.5 cents. But you are. And they're going to call you lucky. That's what's going to happen. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys are prepared for Flare. Leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.